Katame-waza are generally known as ne-waza and consist of OSAE-KOMI-WAZA, shime-waza and kansetsu-waza. Nage-waza and katame-waza are like the two sides of a coin, and to improve your judo it's important to practice both. Katame-waza can be combined with nage-waza to carry out a continuous attack. The possibilities are limitless, and so are the possibilities for continuing on from an OSAE-KOMI-WAZA to a shime-waza or kansetsu-waza, or from a shime-waza to a kansetsu-waza. By mastering katame-waza, you'll achieve a whole new dimension in judo. The highly sophisticated techniques involved in Kodokan Judo Katame-waza have an inner strength that will help improve all your techniques. Let's start by looking at the 29 basic techniques and variations in Katame-waza. The 7 OSAE-KOMI-WAZA techniques are often used in competition. There are 12 shime-waza techniques. Okuri eri-jime is often used in competition, but dojime is prohibited in randori and competition. The application of a kansetsu-waza will help you win instantaneously. However, the ashigarami technique is not allowed in randori or in competition. The objective of OSAE-KOMI-WAZA is to get an unbroken hold on your opponent that he can't get out of within a fixed time limit. Hold him down on his back, facing him as you do so, and make sure he's unable to grip or seize your trunk or legs with his legs. This is how to apply a KASA-GATAME from the right. Clamp your opponent's right arm in your left armpit and put your right arm around his neck. Extend your right leg forward and your left leg backward and use your body to apply pressure and hold him down. The term KASA-GATAME includes all related techniques. Let's look at some of the variations on KASA-GATAME. Clasping your hands together will help tighten your hold. If your opponent attempts to twist and free himself, restrain him by extending your left leg forward. And press your right knee firmly against his body. Use your right arm to hold down your opponent's upper arm and shoulder. Make sure to press down with your body and not just use your arm. When holding down your opponent's shoulder with your right arm, you may also bring your leg up towards you to respond to his movements. Keep your chest firmly pressed against his body. Let's see how Yasuhiro Yamashita applies a KASA-GATAME from an O-Uchigari. Notice how he restrains his opponent's arm by pulling with his right. Here you'll see Kenji Osuki applying a Soto Makikomi from the right. He traps his opponent's arm firmly under his left arm. Kusure KASA-GATAME is a modification of KASA-GATAME. Slip your right arm under your opponent's left armpit and grip his collar. Let's take another look at this. When gripping your opponent's left lapel with your right arm, it's important to keep his body firmly pressed against yours. This is a variation in which you grasp your opponent's lapel near the back of his neck and hold him down, balancing yourself with your right hand and legs. Slip your left arm right under his neck so that you can firmly grasp and pull at his lapel. Place your right hand on the tatami to maintain balance. This variation involves trapping your opponent's right arm between your legs. Reach around his right elbow and apply a scissor hold with your legs. Tuck your right leg firmly under your opponent's head as if it were a pillow or makura, and secure your hold by gripping your right knee with your right hand. And here's what used to be called ushiro kesagatame. You can also slip your right hand underneath his right shoulder to apply an arm lock. This technique is often used to lead into kuzure kesagatame. The important thing is to trap his arm firmly in your armpit. In this variation, you use both hands to trap your opponent's arm. This is also a kuzure kesagatame. Bear down on his arm and upper body. Let's watch a kuzure kesagatame performed by Ingrid Bergmans of Belgium. As soon as she breaks her opponent's balance, she goes straight into the hold. She has a firm grip on her opponent's lapel and draws her arm tightly around. Taking full advantage of their weight difference, she gains full control over her opponent. Here we have Raskan of Germany going from an ogoshi to a kuzure kesagatame. He maintains a tight grip on his opponent's sleeve to trap his arm. Van Barneveld of Belgium crushes his opponent's seoi nage and applies a kuzure kesagatame. He maintains his hold by pulling his opponent's collar firmly towards him with his left hand. And now let's watch Jun Kono execute a kuzure kesagatame at the All Japan Judo Championships. Grabbing his opponent's right arm with both hands, he executes a throw and goes straight into the hold, making sure to keep his opponent's arm tightly under his armpit. The kata-gatame is a hold executed by pressing your right knee firmly against your opponent's right hip, bearing down with your head and neck to clasp both hands around his neck and arm. Clasp your hands, palms crossed, and draw your elbows to your side to tighten your hold. Make sure to keep the balls of your feet on the mat. It's important to maintain your balance while controlling your opponent. You can either bring your knees up or spread your legs out wide in response to your opponent's movements. If necessary, you can also place your hands on the mat to maintain your balance. The important thing is to keep your opponent under control. Let's take a look at the basic kami-shiho gatame. Slip your hands under your opponent's arms and grab his belt on both sides, thumbs on top. draw your elbows to your side to tighten your hold and press down with the area of your chest. Keep your hips low, draw your elbows to your side and bear down with your body to secure your hold. You can also stretch your legs out, or if your opponent attempts to arch his back, you can raise your hips and shift your weight forward. You could also cross your legs in the kuzure kesagatame fashion. The important thing is to shift your hips and legs to maintain your control. Instead of slipping your hands under his arms, you can reach over and grab his belt to restrain his upper body. In this variation, your opponent is lying face down. Reach under and grab both sides of his collar, flip him over and hold him down. Use your opponent's resistance to flip him over and quickly change the position of your legs and hips so you can bear down on his upper body. Be sure not to loosen your hold on his collar and maintain your balance to prevent him from restraining your hands. And here's how to go from a yoko sankaku jime, where you lock your opponent's neck and arm with your legs from the side, to a kami shiho gatame. When you turn your opponent over to the side in the yoko sankaku position, he may attempt to escape by rolling over in that direction. You must therefore move quickly to face him and hold him down. Let's watch the 1987 All-Japan champion Yoshimi Masaki apply a kami shiho gatame. Sweeping his opponent with a harai tsurikomi-ashi, he goes straight into the kami shiho gatame. An impressive performance, making full use of his weight. Yoko Tanabe was the bronze medalist in the Belgrade World Championships. She chokes her opponent with her left hand and continues with a kami shiho gatame.
今締めからですね、相手を返して抑え込みに入りました。非常にうまいタイミングで入りました。まもなく10秒。
From a position diagonally to the right of your opponent's head, pass your right hand over his right shoulder and around his arm and trap his arm in your armpit while your left hand grabs the side of his belt. Apply pressure with the area of your chest to hold him down. Here's how you grab the back of your opponent's collar. Lower your hips and bear down, making sure that he can't free his right arm. Here's how you grab your opponent's belt with your hands crossed. Crossing your hands enables you to strengthen your hold, making it difficult for your opponent to free himself. You can also restrain his arm by half wrapping the bottom of his jacket over his wrist. Firmly secure his arm with the bottom of his jacket. Here, your opponent is on all fours. Approach him from the front and roll him over to apply a kata hajime and hold him down. The important thing is to roll over and go into the hold from a kata hajime. Your opponent is on all fours. Get behind him and roll him over to hold him down. Notice the use of both hands. Grip your opponent's collar with one hand and slip the other hand over his shoulder and under his arm to trap the arm and hold him down. If your opponent manages to seize your legs with his legs, the hold becomes nullified or broken. To prevent this from happening, it's important to make the most of your hands, extending your arms to block his legs. Your opponent is on all fours. Break his balance and apply a yoko sankaku jime. Maintaining this lock, shift your body to face him and hold him down. Pay special attention to the use of your left hand after coming face to face with your opponent. You lock your opponent's neck and arm by forming a triangle with your legs. This is one way to restrain your opponent's arm. Let's watch Olympic champion Hitoshi Saito apply a Kuzure Kami Shiho Gatame. He pushes his opponent's neck with his right hand and grabs the bottom of his opponent's collar to flip him over. He maintains his balance while holding his opponent down. Kinjiro Mototani is famous for his newaza. Let's watch his Kuzure Kami Shiho Gatame. He maintains a strong grip with his right hand and responds well to his opponent's movements. And now a match in the 48kg category from the Belgrade World Championships. Let's watch Karen Briggs of Britain apply a Kamishiho Gatame on Japan's Esaki. Notice how Esaki's right hand has already been tied down with her obi. Restrained Esaki's right wrist, Briggs continues to restrain Esaki's right shoulder and holds her down. And now for Yoko Shiho Gatame. Your opponent is lying on his back. Approach him from his right side and with your right hand reach around his left thigh and grab the side of his belt. Slide your left hand under his neck and grab the side of his collar. Press down with your chest to hold him down. In response to your opponent's movements, you can release your right hand from his belt and put your arm around his body to restrain him with your upper body. Let's look at this in slow motion. Your right hand is used to check your opponent's movements and maintain balance. After putting your right arm around your opponent's body, you can grab hold of your own collar to restrain his neck. the same time, if you grab hold of his inner right thigh, you can stop him from moving his hips and legs freely. Let's take another look at how the collar is held and how the right hand is used. If your opponent attempts to twist and escape by slipping his left arm underneath your chest, bear down on him, arm and all, to keep him under control. The important thing here is to use your right elbow effectively. Placing your right hand on the mat helps to control your opponent's movements and maintain your balance. You can restrain your opponent's arm by wrapping the bottom of his jacket halfway round his wrist. And now for tate shihogatame. Sitting astride your opponent's chest, wrap your arms around his neck and arm to trap him between your neck and hands. Lock your legs around his hips and pin him down with the area of your chest. In this variation, wrap your arms around his arms and control his upper body to apply the hold. As soon as you get your arms around him, shift your weight onto his arms. Also control him by pressing down with your head and neck, as in kata-gatame. Another way of restraining him is to twist your arm around his neck and grab your own belt to trap his neck. Watch how the arm goes around the neck to grab the belt and how the legs are positioned. Reaching over your opponent's shoulder, you grab the back of his belt to go from a yoko shihogatame to a tate shihogatame. The important thing is to react quickly and straddle your opponent to make the transition to tate shihogatame. And this is what to do to control mainly the right arm. Grab your opponent's right arm with your left hand and bring your right arm around his elbow, as in ude hishiki ude gatame. Grab your own collar to tighten the hold. Your left hand is placed on the mat for balance. Let's take a look at this from a different angle. Trap your opponent's shoulders and torso with your legs to keep him under control. If you decide to restrain his upper body in the kata-gatame style, you can bring your right arm around his neck and grab the left side of your collar to tighten the hold. When going from a yoko shiho with your right hand grabbing your opponent's belt to a tate shihogatame, your left hand plays a vital role. Notice the use of the left hand. Your opponent is on all fours. Approaching him from behind, grab both sides of his collar to turn him over and hold him down. Straddle him as soon as you turn him over. Make sure that one hand remains on his collar throughout the hold. Katsuhiko Kashiwazaki, the 1981 world champion, excels in newaza. Let's watch him apply a tate shio gatame.
この足技から寝技に持ち込む連携が上村さんうまいんですね。
卒がないですね。
はい。縦四方に持ち込みます。
He restrains his opponent's right shoulder and maintains his balance with his head.
完全に抑え込みに入りました。まだ試合が始まって40秒ぐらいのところです。縦四方固め30秒で1本になります。
And here's Kashiwazaki applying a tate shihogatame in another match. Take special note of how he controls his opponent's right shoulder and his timing in disengaging his leg.
どうですかこの攻めは。
いいんじゃないですか。これから足抜いて。
これから足を抜いて横四方に移ろうというところですね。縦四方に入りました。縦四方がダメ。館内からも拍手が起こります。寝技の柏崎。抑え込みに入りました。30秒で1本になります。先ほども縦四方固め。今度も縦四方固め。
Kashiwazaki is very good at going from a hikomi gaishi to an OSAE-KOMI. He's having difficulty restraining his opponent's upper body because he can't get a grip on his belt. That's why he uses both legs to control the movement of his opponent's lower body.
逃げようとするのが3本セネガルの選手です。まもなく20秒。